From the 1011 Now Alert Center,
This is the Night Beat.
sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Lincoln.
Good evening and thank you for joining me. I'm Jessica Blum with your headlines for Wednesday, January 7th. First, a deadly day in Minneapolis. Amid an immigration crackdown, one woman shot and killed as the city searches for answers. The latest from investigators. It's a story that captured national attention for much of the day. An ICE officer shot and killed a woman in Minneapolis, where federal and local law enforcement have been clashing for hours with protesters. This is still a developing story, but here's what we know. It happened around 9:30 this morning, according to the Associated Press. A bystander video shows an officer approaching an SUV that had stopped in the road. Within seconds, the vehicle began driving away, prompting a different officer to fire at that driver. The mayor of Minneapolis spoke after the incident, saying he wants ICE out of the city.
They are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is
The shooting marks a dramatic escalation in the latest series of immigration enforcement operations in major American cities under the Trump administration. We'll have more on this story as it develops on air and online. Back in Nebraska, we recently spoke with Nebraska DHHS about more than a dozen reports of EBT scams in our area today. We're learning the problem is much more widespread, spanning the entire state. The department tells us more than 130 households have been affected since the start of the year. In Lincoln alone, there have been 35 victims with losses totaling about $15,000. Investigators have already identified 3 skimming devices at multiple retail locations across the state. DHHS urges people to watch for card readers that look loose, crooked, damaged, or otherwise altered. Sticking with scams, LPD says cryptocurrency scams appear to be declining to end 2025, with only 5 cases reported in November and December. The department says the drop may align with a new city ordinance aimed at raising awareness, requiring warning signs on every crypto ATM in Lincoln. The ordinance was signed in November, and the deadline to place the stickers was the end of December.
That's why it takes a community effort to lower the number of victims and the total financial loss to crypto scams. Please help the City of Lincoln and LPD by sharing this information so you and your loved ones can avoid becoming a victim.
Even so, total losses are still rising, tripling over the last 2 years. In 2025, LPD says each victim lost an average of nearly $35,000. Police are investigating after a woman was reportedly stabbed while breaking up a fight inside a downtown Lincoln bar. LPD took the report on Monday after a 23-year-old woman went to the hospital with a stab wound to her back. The victim told police that she noticed blood on her shirt after breaking up a fight at JJ Hooligans near 9th and P Street Sunday night into Monday morning. This is an ongoing investigation, and anyone with information is asked to reach out to police. Now to an update on a story we've been following this week. We are learning more details about the $1.1 million getting paid out to now former UNL Chancellor Rodney Bennett.
It's a combination of the remaining salary for the term of his contract, unpaid vacation leave, some health care benefits for a period of time, and approximately 6 months of what's called separation pay.
Bennett announced his resignation on Monday, saying he would be departing January 12th. The union representing professors at the university condemned the payout. They said it exposes the administration's financial crisis narrative as a matter of priorities, not necessity. President Gold told our reporter today the interim chancellor, Kathleen Ankerson, isn't just a placeholder as the university searches for a new permanent chancellor. He said she is ready to hit the ground running, and he is confident in her abilities to lead the university. Today is day 1 of the 2026 Nebraska legislative session, and the state's 49 senators have just 60 days to handle the state's business and advance their priorities. There is a ton to do in just 60 days. By April 17th, the legislature must pass a balanced budget, and that won't be easy, considering the state is currently facing a $471 million budget deficit. But Wednesday was more welcome backs and handshakes than hardcore legislating.
I think there's always a lot of opportunity and there's a lot of excitement in the room about the things we can accomplish. So today, people seem to be in fairly good spirits, which short session, a lot of big issues ahead of us. I'm sure that we will maybe go downhill from here a little bit in terms of the tension, but for the most part today, people seem to be in a pretty good mood.
One issue already on the agenda, Executive Committee Chair Senator Ben Hansen of Blair introduced articles of expulsion against Senator Dan McKeon of Amherst and released an investigative report into the incident. McKeon was cited by Nebraska State Patrol last summer after allegedly making an inappropriate joke and touching a Capitol staffer. He was charged in Lancaster County with disturbing the peace. His attorney previously said he would plead no contest, but McKeon later entered a not guilty plea and is due back in court later this month. The report also says McKeon has a reputation for making inappropriate jokes, something Senator Kathleen Kauth of Omaha says she's seen.
Peer to peer, we can take kidding, we can do things that are supposedly funny, and I have corrected Senator McKeon when he has crossed the line and let him know, hey, you just crossed the line.
The unicameral will debate suspending the rules for time on Thursday. If passed, it'll allow them to hold a hearing on McKeon's expulsion as early as Monday. In Husker news tonight, Bergen Reilly's historic season at Nebraska has earned her national recognition. The Husker setter is one of 4 finalists for the class of 2026 Honda Sport Award for volleyball, announced today by the Collegiate Women's Sports Awards. The Husker setter is one of 4 finalists for the class of Reilly led Nebraska to a 33-1 record, a perfect 20-0 Big Ten season, and a school record 351 hitting percentage, while averaging more than 10 assists per set. The award honors the nation's top women athletes as the CWSA celebrates its 50th anniversary, with the winner advancing to the Honda Cup, presented July 27th on the CBS Sports Network. Finally tonight, and rounding out your night beat, is a check of the 7-day forecast. Big changes are on the way. After back-to-back record highs in Lincoln, including today getting up to 66 degrees and breaking the old record of 65 set back in 2003, widespread rain is set to come in, especially for southeast Nebraska, throughout Thursday. Highs will only be in the 40s, with temperatures remaining pretty steady through the day, with winds picking up a little bit more into the evening, and some snow trying to mix in on the back end. Accumulations look to be minor, but it could be a slushy type of snow, with this snow expected to become rather wet in nature, and then will still be rather breezy Friday and into Saturday, as high temperatures will be closer to average at this time of the year in 30s. But that's quite a knockback compared to our 60s and almost 70s statewide here today. Temperatures will rebound nicely with mild conditions by early next week.
You've been listening to The Night Beat.
Sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Lincoln.
Watch, listen, and stream on the 1011 app on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts.